The Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, is in Indonesia today as Joko Widodo is sworn in as president for his second term. Mr Morrison is the fourth Prime Minister to attend a presidential inauguration in Indonesia. ABC Indonesia correspondent Ann Barker has more.
Scott Morrison is the fourth Australian Prime Minister to attend a presidential inauguration in Indonesia. It's a tradition that began in 2004 when John Howard attended the swearing-in ceremony of then-President Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono, or SBY. This is Scott Morrison's second visit to Indonesia in just over a year. He met President Joko Widodo in Jakarta last year during the negotiations for the Australia-Indonesia trade agreement that was signed last March, but is yet to be ratified by both countries. He's scheduled to hold bilateral talks with President Jokowi later this morning. On the agenda will most likely be trade, security and maritime matters, the three issues which underpin the importance of Australia's relationship with Indonesia.
I'll be heading up to Indonesia for the inauguration of President Widodo. I can assure him that we are absolutely on track, and I would believe the same is the case there.
But the trip is also an opportunity for Scott Morrison to meet other world leaders who are in Jakarta for the inauguration. Among them, Malaysia's Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad, the Sultan of Brunei, Singapore's Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong, and deputy leaders from China and Vietnam. Today's presidential inauguration comes at a sensitive time for Indonesia. In recent weeks, there have been huge protests at the National Parliament against draft legislation to reform the criminal code and weaken the Anti-Corruption Commission. And 10 days ago, the Security Minister Wiranto was the target of an assassination attempt by a married couple affiliated with the terror group JAD, which has pledged its allegiance to the Islamic State group. Security today will be extra tight, with more than 30,000 police and soldiers on the streets. Scott Morrison will fly home tonight, and it's expected Joko Widodo will return the honour by visiting Australia sometime next year to address the Australian Federal Parliament in Canberra.
Ann Barker with that report.